Painter Steve here with a great new tip for you today. I hope you enjoyed my last video of the ombre technique that I taught you. This technique is amazing. Today I'll be teaching you how to go ahead and patch a hole in the wall. The first thing that you want to do is when you're going ahead to patch a wall is cut out your piece of drywall to get that piece ready. Now take a guesstimate how much you actually need of drywall. So I'm probably going to need about this much drywall, so that's what I'll use here. So go ahead and put your level there and take your razor knife and run it along the razor knife. Secure that down and run the razor knife a couple times through it. Now take it on the side of whatever you have, an edge, and just simply pop it down like that and it breaks. Now in the crescent part right here, take your knife and just follow along there and cut it like so. Now you want to get a good square in here. You want to cut out the back parts and leave the front part. So go ahead, we have to go ahead and draw something out. Doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. So we're gonna save this piece right here. We're gonna take this out. Now you do the same thing what I showed you before. You take your level or whatever you have, stick, anything that's straight, hold it down, run your razor knife on it a couple times, hold it on the edge, pop, break. Now when you pull away, it should, see how it pulls, it leaves the back end or the front end on here. So you kind of just tear it off like that. So you have this flap here. Okay, once you've completed that part, you want to take your piece of drywall that you went ahead and cut out and place it where the back is here over the top of the hole. Now take that area and take your cool looking pencil that you find just laying around and draw what this outline is. With that pencil mark, you want to cut out the remaining area of that space so that this fits nice and snug in there. Now I forgot my drywall knife in the van, so I went ahead and grabbed a steak knife, and just don't tell your wife if you've taken hers. Just clean it up nicely and put it back, and maybe she won't notice. So take that and cut that out. Finished. Clean this up and then put it back in your rack with the other knives. Now once you get that completed, just go ahead and make sure to see if that fits. Does not, so you want to go ahead and open it up just a little bit more. Whoa! Now when you blow on it, just remember it can get back in your eyes. That's why you should wear safety goggles. That's why I didn't wear them, to show you that you need safety goggles. See that one? Quick. Okay, it fits perfectly. Voila. Now after you cut your hole, you want to stick a piece of wood behind there. That way it has some sort of backing. A good piece of wood that you can use is a paint stick. It works great. So go ahead and stick that back there and then screw it in. Now my power drill is in the van, so I'm doing it old school way. Now take that piece of wood, hold it in tight, and then screw it in there. A drill, that was a great invention. Okay, then take another screw and put it in the center of the piece of drywall that you cut out. Okie dokie. Now apply the mud in the hole area. Take that piece and then apply it back in here. Now the reason why you want to do this first is so that the backing has something to stick to and you have the whole inside in there. Then screw that in. Then take your mud and apply, push down. Okay, great, we're back. I went ahead and I completed the first coat. Now it's a little bit rough around the edges, and that's what you want on the first coat. You want to build it up a little bit thicker than the others, than the second coat. So you build up a nice thick area. Now, you want to go ahead and lightly sand it down, and if you don't have sanding paper, it's still a little wet, which I don't have sanding paper, it's in my van, you improvise. And you just use a regular cloth if you want to, and just kind of wipe it down a little bit, just to knock off the edge. It's not really doing much, but it's just giving it a little bit smoother surface to go ahead and do your second coat with. Now I already pre-mixed my new mud. It's still 20-minute mud. And you just go ahead and apply the second coat. Now there's trash in there. That's not good. That's because I didn't clean this out good enough. If you don't clean it out, this stuff's gonna happen. That's why I did it. To show you what not to do. Now when applying this coat, you don't want to go straight down. Okay, it's kind of like you're striking, if you think of a heel of a foot, just stopping down on it, you don't want it like that. You want kind of an angle to apply that. See that? There's trash in there. Ay, ay, ay. Oh yes, that's what I'm talking about, baby. Beautiful. Oh man. Now the key to knowing if you did a good job or not is if you don't really have to sand it afterwards. Now, when that dries up, like I said, the key, if you did a good job, is if you don't even have to sand it. Now it's good still to sand a little bit. You may not need to use sanding paper. You can still go ahead with the cloth possibly 20-30 minutes from now and just lightly rub off the bad edges. Now, when you go ahead and paint, be sure to wait until the pH levels in the mud is calmed down, maybe by a day or so, then prime, and then go ahead and do whatever touch-ups you need to do. Thank you very much for joining me and learning how to do this, and I hope you watch my other videos. So thank you very much, and God bless.